It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. The state government is facing questions over its preferred route for light rail in Newcastle CBD. It's been revealed Cabinet rejected formal advice from transport officials who called for light rail to run along the existing heavy rail corridor. Instead, the government has opted for a more expensive option, which will deliver slower trip times by running most of the line down Hunter Street, leaving the corridor free for property developers. The coalition is blaming the former Labor government for looming job losses at Newcastle shipbuilder Forjax. The company is yet to lock in new naval work, with the contract to build the hulls for the air warfare destroyers set to finish later this year. Patterson MP Bob Baldwin says it's a regrettable situation.
I met with union members from the Forjax and other shipyards in Canberra last week, and they complained about the Valley of Death. It's been brought on by the economic drought on this Labor government when they pulled billions of dollars, $22 billion out of the defence budget over 6 years. That was money that was for future procurement, which didn't occur.
The Premier is using a trip to Lovedale today to announce a major roads funding commitment to the Hunter. Mike Baird says the coalition government will commit $273 million to several road projects across the region, including $7 million for 2 extra lanes on the New England Highway at Rutherford, and upgrades to the Griffiths and Broadmeadow Road intersection of Broadmeadow, as well as Industrial Drive at Tues and Werribee Streets at Mayfield. A new scheme designed to reserve a portion of Australia's natural gas for domestic use at a fair price is beginning to gain support in the Hunter. The Save Our Gas reservation scheme, led by the Australian Workers' Union, is built on the principle while exporting natural gas provides significant revenue, it shouldn't be at the cost of manufacturing jobs and increased cost of living. Charlton MP Pat Conroy believes Hunter residents should benefit from Australian resources.
We still support export of gas because it gives us great export dollars, but say 10 or 20% of that gas should stay in this country to help Australian families and Australian manufacturers. And that's only fair because that gas is owned by the Australian people. It's not owned by specific companies, it's Australian resources.
WorkCover New South Wales has issued new authority to its safety inspectors in the Hunter and across the state, who now have the power to issue on-the-spot fines to anyone who appoints unlicensed asbestos removalists. It follows a recent spike in the illegal dumping of asbestos in Hunter bushland. Hunter team coordinator for WorkCover, Lisa Foley, said the responsibility to act legally when dealing with asbestos lies with home and business owners.
The onus is on the homeowner or the business who are engaging removalist builders to undertake work. They need to ensure that they hire in the appropriate competent person, and if in doubt, you pick up the phone, ring 13 10 50, and we'll give you guidance based on the type of work that you're doing as to whether you need an asbestos removalist or not.
And the multi-million-dollar upgrades to Singleton's Gym and Swim Centre have been given the thumbs up by the Joint Regional Planning Panel. The $6 million development includes a major upgrade to existing facilities and a new hydrotherapy pool. It's due for completion early next year. Now with sport, Emily Crowe.
The Newcastle Jets have officially terminated the contract of former captain Q Yarleens after weeks of off-field drama at the club. Jets CEO Mitchell Murphy says the club was committed to solving the situation amicably. Yarleens has pursued an alternative playing option sought out for him by the Jets and says he will leave Newcastle with fond memories. In the wake of Yarleens' termination, the Jets will welcome former Adelaide United star Nigel Boogaard, who was inked a 3-season deal with the club. The 28-year-old local-born defender says he believes the time is right to commit to Newcastle and help lead the revitalisation of the club. Boogaard has spent 11 years away from the Hunter, playing with Jets rivals the Central Coast Mariners as well as Adelaide. And Knights coach Rick Stone will need to assess the fitness of several players, including Beau Scott, Jeremy Smith, Dane Gagai and Tyrone Roberts, before announcing his squad for the trial match against Canberra on Saturday. That's sport. I'm Emily Crowe.
To NURFM News Time 26 to 9.